Hello and welcome back to yet another Let's Play channel. I'm Vic, and today we're taking a classical break from Quantum Break because although I am enjoying it, it's not really spooky enough, and we are coming up on Halloween. So instead of doing that, we're going to head on over to The Sinking City and check it out instead. Sinking City is explicitly based on Lovecraft. You can see some tentacle there in the background. And this one is interesting. It's the first game that I've played, and it will be one of few ever, probably, that isn't from my Steam library. And you can get this game on Steam, but it is not recommended because the developer has been involved in a very high-profile dispute with their distributor. And it's the distributor that is releasing it on Steam, and if you check out the reviews, you'll find that apparently the version on Steam is maybe an older build of the game, and also doesn't have the DLC anymore. So as you can see from the capture here, this version is from Games Planet, which is endorsed by the developer, and it's got all the stuffs. We missed it because I wasn't recording yet, but there was a little disclaimer at the beginning of the game that comments that the time and setting of these stories is not the modern era, and it includes some unacceptable attitudes towards certain people. Let's put it that way. The disclaimer noted that the developer does not endorse those attitudes, but includes them, let's call it, for the sake of authenticity. And I will echo that. We're probably going to see some people maybe say some naughty words, and that'll be fun, because I will have to remember to censor it. Anyway, let's get into the insanity. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Massachusetts. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours, a city drowning, the presence of something great, yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we've stumbled upon the source of your ailment and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself, then. Come to Oakmont. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes van der Berg. And there have been a whole bunch of tips flashing across the bottom. Let's get on with it. I'm led to believe that there will be a Thompson. I'm very excited for the Thompson. One of my favorite old firearms. Our boy is not having a good time. That's not what photos do. I have probably not synced the audio incorrectly. The audio appears to be out of sync right now. But we're going to chalk that up to the fact that insanity plays a very important role in Lovecraft stories. Oh, buddy. That is not a desirable outcome. Oh, we are getting straight into it. I love it. I don't know if I've read everything that Lovecraft wrote, but I do have an ebook that's at least an anthology. Okay, that's not the pick things up button. And that's not... Come on, pick it up.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Yeah. I made the mistake of reading the anthology while I was on business travel on airplanes. And it was a mistake because flying is already sort of a surreal experience. You get in a little box, and then a few hours later you get out somewhere else. And adding all of this to it was... okay, we already read that. Maybe a bit much.
Well, I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
You were definitely going to take it. Can I interact with this? How do I camera? Mind Palace? Okay, so we got a Sherlock Holmes kind of thing going on. I think this developer also has a Sherlock Holmes library. Those might be fun to check out at some point. All right, how do I camera though? Do you see it? I don't see it. I know this is exciting, but I mean... retrocognition. Okay. Yeah, shoot padlocks, sure. Oh, there's gonna be diving. That's an unpleasant looking thing. Maybe I'm not supposed to take a picture of that? I have a feeling that this is one of those games where overlooking things is going to be bad for me. I can't... Still the wrong button. Okay, there's a resource gathering. Come on, just do the thing, please. Look for information within city archives. That's not what we're doing. Some pieces of evidence have a hint. Okay, so it's not the take a photo icon. Alright. We're just going to come back to that. Hopefully we can come back to that. We can't, I'm sure.
Now get out!
No, you. You know what? I cannot bear to walk away from that thing without figuring out what it is, so we're going to pause and I will be right back. Okay. I have read that I can use tab to open up a Hot Wheel, and there the camera is, and that is definitely a camera icon. Photo of a trophy plate. All evidence collected. Now we can move on.
Now get out!
You get out.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
No doubt.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Do you work for the King in Yellow, Mr. Johannes Vanderberg?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Oh, good.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Does he also wear yellow? Man, look at how shiny our vest is. Is that just because it's wet?
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
Definitely not portentous at all. The Devil's Reef.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Mr. Vanderberg is going to turn out to be running some kind of cult.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Alright, I'm done with you.
That's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Man, our boy has lived a rough life. Did you notice that he's got scars over both eyes? Brutal. This place is an absolute mess. Isaac Clarke would feel right at home. And that armor would be a sort of appropriate for the diving sequences, too. And it just so happens that I have recently replayed BioShock in my free time also. Does my compass have any markers on it? It's got one. Is that the ship? It's probably the ship. Our boy brought a shovel with him. That was very thoughtful. Okay, it's the thing we already took a picture of. Welcome to Oakmont, a town on the rise. I don't know about all that. Ape's Bride? Is that Tarzan reference? Let's see. So our boy is carrying what looks to be a 1911 or a variant of a 1911. And as I mentioned earlier, I was led to believe that a Thompson will be available. So it seems likely that the game is between World War I and World War II.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
I expect I'll die here.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Innsmouth. That's a Lovecraft, I believe.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Well, it's all glowy and green, dude. Whoa. I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you. Don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that cave. Professor Unreadable, I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable, the cycles goes on and on and on and on and on. Unreadable, in the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father Unreadable. He's here. Cthulhu Fthagan. I'm quite impressed so far. Digging the setting. This is definitely a place that is close to the old ones. And that is bad news for everyone here. You know, it's interesting. What is that? What is that? Well, this place gets grosser every time I turn around. Can I shoot him? You know, I only have 6 bullets. I think I'm gonna save them for a moment when I need it. Can I throw a brick at it? I can. Am I out of brick now? Oh crap, I'm out of brick. That might have been a mistake. Can I walk over it? I cannot. What was I saying? Oh yeah. You know, everybody makes a big deal out of Lovecraft for the horror. But I think the most interesting of the stories in that anthology, although it contained many of the horrific elements from his other stories, it actually wasn't written as a horror story. So in case there is somehow someone, I mean, A, watching this at all, and B, who doesn't know, the central themes in Lovecraft stories tend to be people experiencing something that they can't process. And
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
And it's frequently people like scientists and philosophers, and they tend to be sort of very emotional people, and they're overcome by the things that they've seen, possibly driven to insanity, and by the end, things kind of resolve themselves in such a way that either all of the participants in the story are dead, or the ones that remain question whether it happened at all.
No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Throgmorton looks rather like an ape, doesn't he? Like the poster.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
But not so exquisite teeth.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouther-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Alright, well, if you're not going to help, I guess I could just go home.
Take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Well, they did arise from a rather unfortunate incident at Innsmouth.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you.
Okay.
I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
You mentioned a
Already looked at the
lifeboat.
lifeboat, but I
Is it
suppose we
still
should be
around?
thorough.
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Good directions.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
Fine then. I guess my flashlight and my
As
trench
much as
shovel
I'm
and I will be
enjoying the
going.
weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Yeah, okay. Fisherman's house. Are you the
I've said
fisherman?
everything I know.
All right. And what have you got there? A lever gun? Cool.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
What if one of them's got a gun in it? Do you still want to see it? Oh. Gross. Oh, and there's a big one. This place is wild. Interesting symbol on the door. I'm sure that's not important. People didn't really live this way, did they? This place is waterlogged. Okay, we'll go up the stairs in a minute. And that's a wall that's just smashed out.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
I'm good with that. Oh, hold it down to search things. Shell casings and gunpowder? Am I seriously going to be crafting ammo while losing my mind? I mean, our PI here doesn't exactly look very well adjusted to begin with. I'm not sure he should be fiddling with powder and primers. What's up?
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Well, I found some bloody
It'll take
handprints.
tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
What's up?
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
To find his son.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar.
And who are you then?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will. Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was out of starve.
And where's
Where are all
everybody
the
else?
other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid bet that one or both of them is dead.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this Kay you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Okay, bye.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or Kay? Did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Rightly so. And are you afraid of what you might dream? Because we are all done for episode 1, and you're not going to see the next one until tomorrow. So, I recommend sleeping lightly in the meantime. You come back and see me again next time, and we'll dig a little further into this case of the weird-looking dude's crazy son. Talk to you soon.